Respect Billy Joe Saunders. Well, it's all over. And Sergio, would you?
I think that's the likely end of the career of Martin Murray. I mean, what else is there for him to do or that he can do? You know, I was here on YouTube on another channel when he got that bad decision, in my opinion, a robbery, lost to Sergio Martinez down in Argentina when he should have been the WBC champion. Don't you know, at one point in time, Martin Murray was even very, very close to getting Canelo Alvarez, but he couldn't come, you know, to the States. So, as it stands, as we stand here right now, December the 5th, 2020, I'm TstreeT Controversy with FightView360.com. Billy Joe Saunders should go on to get a clear, unanimous decision victory, where he should win every single round against the 38-year-old Martin Murray. Battle-tested Martin Murray. Now the question is, where does Billy Joe Saunders go from here? In a couple of weeks, December the 19th, you're going to have Saul Canelo Alvarez taking on Callum Smith. Paul Smith was doing a commentary for the Zone, by the way. It's going to be for the WBA Super and Ring Magazine 168-pound titles. 168 is a little bit, you know, all over the place, especially since, you know, we don't know what's going on with the WBC title at 168 pounds. Billy Joe, WBO, Caleb Plant was in talks to get Canelo, but they couldn't come together for like a broadcasting deal over at PBC. Canelo's belt at 168 pounds, in my opinion, don't count. That world belt, even if it is Canelo. Let's listen to the cards. Please subscribe, like the video.
Unfortunately, Father Time beats everyone.
I'm TstreeT Controversy with FightView360. I mean, this is the best Billy Joe has looked at 168. I like Billy Joe 160 Billy Joe better. I think that's prime Billy Joe.
And really, it just remains to be seen whether it is indeed a shutout for Billy Joe Saunders.
Look how long his arms is, too. Crazy.
I think the decision's coming up any second now. Good to see Martin Murray can still raise a smile.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards. Steve Gray and Bob Williams both scored the bout 120 to 109. Marcus McDonald scored this contest 118 to 110. All three for your winner by unanimous decision. He's still undefeated and still the WBO Super Middleweight Champion of the World, Billy Joe Saunders.
It was never in doubt. The two warriors having a good conversation at the end there. You know there is huge respect between the two of them.
Now, before they go and do their post-fight interviews, I'm wondering, now, let's say, for example, if he doesn't get Canelo, because that's been the theme. You know, he think he's going to get Canelo, him thinking he's going to get Golovkin, and it doesn't happen. The Demetrius Andrade fight makes sense. Demetrius Andrade vacates his 168-pound title. 60-pound title, moves to 168. He'll be the automatic mandatory, even though you see they have Saul Canelo Alvarez ranked as #1, but he's fighting Callum Smith. Danny Jacobs is up there, but the way he shit the bed against Gabriel Rosado, you know, and also that was his last fight with Matchroom and probably on the Zone. We don't know if they want to give him a deal after that. We don't really know what's going on with David Benavidez. David Benavidez and Caleb Plant just need to just fight. Unless they're going to go David Benavidez, Avni Yildirim for that vacant WBC belt. I covered David Morales' fight. I don't count them WBA belts, except Callum Smith's belt. So let me not even talk about that. But we're waiting for them to get to the post-fight interview. And I am tired. I got a weird-ass sleep pattern. And tomorrow night, I got to be here. By the way, where's my time? Tomorrow, I got to be here for Danny Jacobs. Not fucking Danny Jacobs. Errol Spence Jr. versus Danny Garcia. The main event I'm hyped for. The card itself, not really. You know? One of PBC's pay-per-views, more lackluster undercards these days for a pay-per-view. PBC. and just a lackluster undercard for a pay-per-view overall. I'm just not high on Sebastian Fundora. And I like Jose Zito Lopez, but he's long in the tooth, you know. Here, they're about to do their interview.
There is no doubt at all.
By the way, shout out to Shannon Corsonet. She stole the night. Her and James Tennyson. And Billy Joe Saunders shined. He looked good.
Billy, well done. A very dominant performance. But as you stood there just before we came to you, cut a very frustrated figure. Is that how you feel tonight?
Yeah, I think, listen, I've been out over a year now. It's like boxing in the cemetery. Listen, it's one of them. I like to perform for the crowd, get up for it. You know, I've got many people to thank, obviously Eddie Earn, MTK, Matchroom. But tonight I tried to set a rhythm, but he's a kind of old fox, and he just knew how to tie you up well. He was tying you up. And listen, it's not a performance I'm going to be shouting for people's names about, because, like I say, I've been out a year.
I think he looks good.
I probably needed the rounds, to be honest with you, going into the new year, but he's a kind of old fox. He got through it, and fair play to him. I hope he has a good Christmas. And he can go back to his family. But the main thing is I'm 30-0. I guess I'm still getting luckier every fight I get. So let's see if I can make a big fight, get up for it, and put a performance in, put a shift in.
He's a real tough man. Did you feel that you had him hurt? I think it was in the fourth with the knockdown that wasn't called. When
I come down, it was a clear knockdown. Listen, the referee, I'm out of moan at him, but you know, there's been previous fights now where there's been fights close he's given it against, and if that was called a knockdown, I would have adjusted a bit differently, and maybe might have got the finish if there was 30 or 40 seconds left. But I knew Martin was hurt. He didn't give him 10 seconds, and I just wanted to recover to let that burst go again. But he let him tie me up. Listen, it's fair play to Martin. I'm not taking anything away, but it was definitely a knockdown, and maybe that could have changed a complete fight if called a knockdown, which it was. If you watched the replay.
Moving things forward now, we're obviously going to hear Eddie Hearn's plans for you, but this is your platform to sort of send out a message. What do you want to do in 2021?
Listen, it's very important now for me to stay in the gym, I think, because I'm not getting any younger. Just turned 31. I feel like I'm in the prime. Like tonight, it was strange because the stamina was there, but then it was just a little bit of timing off. But listen, it's a bit of ring rust, and to be honest, everybody knows I need a rhythm for my boxing skills to come. And you can spar and look $1 million, but when you're underneath them likes of these little gloves, as you've seen there, I bullied him at times as well. I felt strong, but there was just a little bit of rhythm lacking, and I think that's a bit of ring rust. But hopefully, listen, let's get the big names out there. Obviously, Canelo and Smith's fighting. There's Andrade out there, and there's the man to ask, because I need a big fight to get up for it, to know, like, listen, here we go. I'm not sitting in the dressing room singing and dancing and waiting around to go on one of mine, you know?
Eddie, without sitting on the fence, it's boxing politics. It's a difficult world to navigate at times, but can you give us your plans for Billy Joe Saunders? What do you want to do? Who do you want him to fight?
Well, firstly, I thought it was a bit critical, over-critical. I think, you know, being out of the ring for a year, he is right, he's a rhythm fighter. I thought it was a great performance. Big credit to Martin Murray, tough as old boots. The fact is, we were one day away from the press conference for Canelo against Billy Joe Saunders. He flew out, the deal was done, the pandemic hit, and the fight got cancelled, and that was a massive blow. And to be honest with you, he'd done well to even get in the ring this year. He lost his way a little bit, he ate too much. And his discipline went. He's got back in the ring. Now it is important that the momentum continues. He's got to be a pro now. He's got to train over Christmas. He's got to keep his weight down. He's got to be ready. Because when a fighter is as good as Billy Joe Saunders, when they're in their prime like this, we can't waste the opportunity to find out how good he really is. And we're not yet seeing it because he's not mixing with the elite of the elite. Golovkin, Canelo, Callum Smith, Demetrius Andrade. All these fights, it must be one of them next, because otherwise we're wasting our time. He's wasting his career. People talk about Billy Joe Saunders as potentially one of the top pound-for-pound, if not the pound-for-pound fighter in Britain. But we can never call him that unless he's mixing with that level of opposition. So we will do everything we can. He will fight anyone. And I think people will look at Billy Joe Saunders and they will want to take the challenge. I know Canelo wants to fight him. I know Callum Smith wants to fight him if he can beat Canelo in December as well. Gennady Golovkin, Demetrius Andrade.
They all want to fight me, but not one of them signed no contract. So they want to fight me that much. Get your pens out and get it signed. You see me there tonight. Listen, this fight is dedicated to my Uncle Tom Beanie, who passed away sadly while I was in training camp as well. So this is for him. But listen, any super middleweight out there, let's get it on. People can criticise me all they want. The main thing is I'm here to fight. Whenever you want to ring me, and I'll be ready for New Year. But it has to be a big fight. Big names come out and have a fight. And if I get knocked out and get beat, you're a better man. But it'd be completely different on the night.
But what's the reason that these fights aren't?
Well, I'm ready to rock and roll. So ask the man here.
The Canelo fight fell through, like I said, because of the pandemic. That fight was all agreed. It was done. And the Demetrius Andrade fight fell away, and now nothing was available this year. That's why we thought Martin Murray put in a great performance. But the pressure's on. You know, the pressure's on us, the pressure's on Billy, the pressure's on Sky, whoever it is, to make sure that he goes into the massive fight. Because otherwise, like I said, we're going to look back on the career of Billy Joe Saunders and say, what could have been? And we're not prepared to do that. And he's not prepared to do that, and he shouldn't, because we've got to find out how good he is. He will rise to the levels, he will be up for those big fights. So let's find out how good he is in 2021. We will deliver them. He must stay ready and stay fit and active for the call for early in 2021. And we've got to get it done.
Yeah, the pressure's on Eddie to deliver what he just said there, but do you share that responsibility that you have to be ready for when that call comes?
Listen, most of all, the main thing is, listen, I'm game to get in there and fight. So if he gives me a ring, he knows I've took these big fights before. You know, there's not been a fight where I've gone back and said, you know what, that's no good, no, take it away. Like, so let's make these big fights happen, give the fans what they want. Let's give the fans, let's give the general public some good fights, what they want, but they've got to be, you know, big fights, world title fights, unification fights.
And who's your number one, if you don't mind me butting in?
Everyone wants Canelo, don't they? So listen, hopefully, I hope Smith beats him. You know, he beat George Groves, but we all know George Groves was finished and washed up. So you know, that's the only really name he's beat. So we'll see if he makes a comeback this year and see if he beats Canelo. But fair play to him for getting the fight. I wish him all the best, and I hope as a fellow Brit he does it. But you know, if not, then that's the fight in the new year I want. And on that performance there, you should take it, Canelo. Let's rock and roll.
Well done tonight. And Eddie, thanks for joining us. I just want to swap.
Well, you know, damn, I guess we got to listen to Martin Murray. No disrespect. Oh, no, he bouncing. No, we got to listen to Martin Murray in case it's his last fight. We got to. Got to show respect, man. You know, got to show respect.
Obviously, gutted, but it is what it is, and I got beat by a better man. There was not much in a lot of the rounds, but he was just pipping me. You know, we never let him find a proper rhythm, but he was doing just enough, and he was hard pinned down. He was a quality fighter. The better man won on the night. What more can I say?
What do you want to do now? I don't want to bring this inevitably straight onto retirement.
Everyone's been saying, people's been wanting me to retire for years. Yeah, you know what I mean? Every time, what will you do after this fight? Will you retire? I was going to retire 2 years ago, but I knew there was a big fight left in me. I knew there was another world title shot.
You don't want to let it go.
I was, you know, I did it for the enjoyment, and I was rebuilding. Like I said, I knew there was a big fight. 5 times for the world title, mate. 5 times. Mate, I'm not going to get 6. My body can't take it. I'm 38. I turned pro late, but yeah, just rebuilding. I just want to spend time with my family now. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. Never say never, but yeah, I think that's it. You know what I mean? I tried, and
damn.
Listen, I mean, every time you get beat, you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, I'm gutted, but I've always had that bit of hope. I've always believed. And I truly believed I could beat him tonight. I felt good. We had a great training camp. You know, my back went a couple of weeks ago. Big thanks to my physio, Pinky, for getting it in as best condition as possible. But it went again in about round 8. And that's no excuse, by the way. I did get beat off a better man. But what I'm trying to get round to saying is, it's taking a lot of wear and tear on my body now. Do you know what I mean, mate? So yeah, never say never, but I'm ready for a good rest now, mate.
I'm sure your family will have a big say in it as well. If it is the final chapter, not the end, but the final chapter, when you do walk away, will you walk away with your head held high, having achieved everything?
Yeah, listen,
you know, open brackets apart from a world title.
Well, obviously I've not achieved a world title, but you know, I had a colourful past before I turned pro. When I turned pro, you know, I said I wanted to get to go anywhere, fight anybody. I've done that. You know, I could have been double weight world champion if the judges and you know, a bit of luck was on my side, but it never worked out that way. And obviously there was no disputing Golovkin, and there was no disputing tonight. I got beat off a better man. He's a quality fighter. He is a class fighter, and you know, don't get me wrong, I'm gutted, but I want to say a big thanks to my team. Obviously Jamie Moore, Nigel Travis. Obviously my kids. I'm coming home, spend a nice bit of time together. All my family and friends at home. The support I've got amazing support in St Helens, in Warrington, all over UK. I know the boys down Merthyr are watching me. You know, Glasgow, Belfast, Dublin. You know, I've got amazing support, and you know, like I've not got a world title, but I'd like to think that I can go out with it with my head held high, and you know, I've got a bit of respect, and you know, what more can I say? It wasn't my night tonight, but it is what it is.
Undoubtedly, your head can be held high. Congratulations on, if that is the end, a great career. Just Jamie Moore, your trainer, very good words there from Martin. It wasn't to be tonight. I'm sure that you had a game plan.
Sorry, Jamie. Can't listen to you. I'm sorry. No disrespect, man. Wish I could. You know, I've been here, you know, covering him since the Sergio Martinez fight. I didn't cover him when he fought Felix Stern. But, you know, he's been to the top. And, you know, it's just time to hang it up, because where's he going to go? Be somebody's journeyman. You know, his last fight is for a world title. You know, like, what else is there to really for him to come back for? Now, in regards to Billy Joe Saunders, like, if it's not Caleb Smith, you know, Canelo winner, Golovkin, I'm talking about fights that can happen politically. Danny Jacobs, Demetrius Andrade, Jaime Munguia, unlikely Jaime Munguia, you know, then it's like, yo, you know, John Ryder ain't gonna do it, even though I had John Ryder defeating Colin Smith, but that's not enough. You know, and I do feel, let's listen in one more time.
Yeah, the support I've got, you know, I'm lucky. Like I said in that interview the other day with Sky, the only thing really missing in my life is a world title. I've got an amazing family, friends, you know, beautiful wife, kids, everything around me's good. Well, it's amazing actually. Not got that world title, but you know, it is what it is. You know, it's just one of them things. You know what, I've tried my best. Wasn't good enough. You know, you can't do more than your best. But I just want to thank everyone out there for the support throughout my career.
Sad shit.
Thanks for everything. Really appreciate it. And you know, we couldn't really dedicate this title to Oliver tonight, but it's always on our mind, and you know, I hope it did him proud.
I'm sure you did. Well done.
Cheers. Thank you.
It's sad when you're seeing fighters that you've been covering for so many years retire, like that shit, and you're seeing him, watching him. I'm watching him retire now, real time, 6:06 p.m. December the 4th, 2020. I was here for the Sergio Martinez shit. That's crazy, you know. But Billy Joe looked sharp. He looked sharp. I still think that 160 Billy Joe is prime Billy Joe. You know, the commentators were calling for, you know, it to be stopped. That was the time he almost got dropped. Or a lot of people may look at that. I got to go look at that replay to see if it was really a knockdown or not. But yeah, Billy Joe, you know, he looked good. And he said he wanted rounds. Beginning of the week, he got his rounds. I'm TstreeT Controversy with FightView360.com. We cover every single major fight live. Please subscribe.